Welcome to Unity of Little Rock. Let's start us with a little song today, a little music happening as we settle in and get ready for our day. Welcome. I want to share that song this morning because it might be raining outside, but it also might be raining inside for us. And I just want us to all remember that you're going to be all right.
I'll be all right.
We're all going to be all
I
right.
actually watched the show last night, and that's what.
Where'd you find that song?
YouTube. That was a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That's Lauren Daigle.
I heard that.
She was actually here recently in Little Rock.
Yes, she was.
Too many weeks ago. Anyway, so thank y'all for being here. I wanted to remind us, this is Cinco de Mayo. Whoa. We look like we're partying hardy here, don't we? We did not bring the margarita machine this morning, but another day. I just want to remind us, Cinco de Mayo, as I read about it, it's really in Mexico just a celebration of a battle in 1862, of which it was part of the French-Mexican War, and that battle was won by the Mexicans. And it's celebrated, but it's not really a big celebration in Mexico. But here in the U.S., it is a big celebration, but it's a celebration of Mexican culture, of the Mexican people. It's reminding us to that diversity and that magnificent variety in color that is life.
Yeah.
And that we're this wonderful, unique expression of the beloved, of the divine, of God in our life, and that we might look differently, and we might talk differently, and we might eat different foods, whatever it might be, we've still got such an incredible commonality because we're all that same one thing, that same one light. So I wanted to acknowledge that for us today. Some of our gang this morning are at Unity Village. That's the home of Unity. They're doing a labyrinth retreat. And I spoke to Jeannie yesterday, and she told me that it was already a powerful, she hadn't been there, but for a morning, it was already a powerful experience. And this is a picture of them close to the labyrinth, and any of your eagle eyes, spot the silver goddess.
I see her.
I'm not sure where Betty is, but Jeannie was just obvious. This is at Unity Village, and they're up there. These people are standing around.
And where's Unity Village at?
Oh, I went the wrong way. Let me try again. There it is. Jeez. Wow. They're all standing right where I'm standing by that labyrinth, and that's the new labyrinth that was just built up there, and they're doing a retreat based on the labyrinth, because yesterday was National Labyrinth Day.
Oh, wow.
It was.
But I just wanted to acknowledge them and celebrate that there are those out there, and as you saw, she was with a large group of people that are recognizing and honoring and exploring the depth of who they are, and who they are as a spiritual being, as someone that's rests and lives and is the Christ, that divine expression of God. So I wanted to acknowledge that for them. And I also wanted to bring Unity Village to y'all. Okay? This is a whopping 30 seconds of the village. These are the fountains, and actually I'm standing on the bridge right here, videoing this way. And this is enjoy the fountains.
I love the blue color.
Yeah. I need to get closer.
For those of you who hadn't been to the village, actually as we look down this way, Down here are where the rose gardens, when you hear anybody talk about the rose gardens that are at the village, they're down on this end. And actually, I said I was standing on the bridge. If I turn and face towards you, there's another fountain pool just as large facing this way. And then all of the, oh, I hear the rain. I'm trying to compete with the fountains. That's what's going on.
Yes.
We got a jungle out there.
Is it pouring down now?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
I knew it would, as dark as the clouds were.
So today, I wanted to bring into our consciousness the thought, the idea of an intimate God, because we talk about God being principle. And for some of us, sometimes God is principle as this cold, distant thing. Right? And that's the God outside of us. But the God within, we're very intimate with because it is us. We can't not be intimate, but we also can develop and deepen that intimacy. So I wanted to bring to us that concept today, and also to recognize that we're here in sacred space. And sacred space not because it's a church building, but sacred space because you're here. And we come together, and where two or more are gathered, there I am. There is the Christ. There is the divine nature. It is here among us, as us. So acknowledging that and calling that forth for us. Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, says, sometimes we pray to a God outside of ourselves. It is the God in the midst of us that frees and heals. Prayers aren't sent out at all. Where will we send our prayers? We should direct them to our minds and our hearts and our affairs. We commune with God mind within our own consciousness. Let's do one more song here, and then we'll get to some juicy stuff. Y'all know I pick all this stuff for me, right?
I can see you in your room.
If we only had a pool in the back, so when we finish today, our students could all go jump in it, right? It'll probably be a pool in the front today. So, y'all know, and if you don't, then that's help you know, that unity is based on prayer. That was the core and has been the core. And when we pray affirmatively, claiming and owning the truth of who we are. The truth that divine lives here. It's all that is divine, but he lives here as well. We're not separate from that. And when you make your prayer requests and put them in the prayer box, you know that we pray over them here for 30 days, and then we send them on to the village, and they're prayed over for another 30 days there, as well as anything you put online, our website. If you call Silent Unity, Silent Unity has been Silent Unity for 134 years. Somebody 24/7, 365 for 134 years has been praying in the village, praying over your requests, whatever they are, whatever they may be, to being prayed. Oh, I got rained on.
Oh, no.
Sorry, got distracted there. It's like, I don't usually get rained on in here.
Little leak over there.
Yep. So that's all right. We're going to talk about leaks. We'll address some of that here in a moment. Those leaks of life, those things that, like me, I got surprised and distracted and, okay, now where the heck am I? Okay? Well, I'm coming back to it. Because I'm going to come back to prayer. Because today we're going to pray, and we're going to pray knowing the truth of who we are. So if y'all would join me in prayer. Because as I settle in, and I feel myself standing here, being with you, you sitting there, being with you and in this community. We know there's a truth that there's a power and a presence, not just in the universe, but it is the universe. And this divine self arises from that universe. So the power, the intelligence, the strength, the magnificence that is the universe is living and expressing. Its heart is beating, its breath is rising and falling right here in each one of us. And as we come into this life and we look at it, we have our hopes and our dreams and our desires, those arise from that one intelligence. And there's no impossibilities within that divine nature. So what we hope and dream, what we ask for and what we claim is ours. So whether it's peace and comfort, whether it's security and happiness, whether it's wealth and fame, those are all contained within us now. They're not separate from us. It's for us to chip away that which does not belong and reveal that beauty, that magnificence that is us, our divine self, and allow all that needs to be, wants to be expressed, freed, moving forth, and thus now manifesting in our world, in our lives. And we give thanks that we have a community that we can come and be a part of. Large or small, short or tall, it's still our community. And we give thanks that the people next to us remind us that we are that magnificence. And their light shines forth, calling for our light to shine as well. And we're grateful that we know these things, own these things, and become that action of these things in the world. And so it is. Amen. Let's do our opening statement. We'll repeat this together. There's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotence. Our daily word, this is the 100th anniversary of the daily word. I'm impressed. 134 years of silent unity, but 100 years of the daily word. Just each day an affirmation claiming the truth of who we are in a situation. I'm not going to read all the daily word today, but we are going to do the affirmation that goes with the daily word. And it says, I feel joyous as I celebrate life. We just saw a little celebration, didn't we? Okay. So we're going to claim more of that celebration. So together, I feel joyous as I celebrate life. One more time. Together, I feel joyous as I celebrate life. Claim it, yes!
I feel joyous as I Oh my goodness.
I've got 112 things I want to tell y'all today. Y'all heard me say that before. Some Sundays is just, you just work, anybody that speaks, you're just working on squeaking out something. And then some Sundays it's like, well, they ain't gonna listen to me for 5 hours, so what am I gonna do about this? So today I've got things, and I'm going to take some liberties today, because if it develops as a conversation, let's let it be a conversation amongst us. That's fine today. Not so much me speaking, although, like I said, I got plenty to say today. But I want to acknowledge, if this is your first time, or your 10th time, or your 100th time, welcome. thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part, because your light matters. Our community may appear small, but that's a smallness that we don't have to claim, because we can claim the bigness within. A chiropractic author used to write about the bigness of within. Okay? One of the what's his title? B.J. Palmer. His son. Anyway, doesn't matter. But talking about that bigness within, as you read this whole story, what he's talking about is that incredibleness that exists within us all, that bigness that is us with a capital B. We might call it the truth. And in the community, our numbers aren't what make us big. It's that bigness and that acknowledgement of who we are and the truth of who we are. And that we as a community touch our lives, meaning the ones in this room, the people that come and go infrequently, but that we also step out this side of these walls and touch and make a difference. And our light does that. Our love, whatever name you want to call it, okay? We are that power that moves into the world. And for all the things that we see, and read about and hear about, that I would say most of us in this room aren't excited about in the world, okay? Aren't excited about hearing and being a part of. We're the answer to that. We may not be the entire answer, but we're an answer because the more we bring our light, our awareness, our love, that consciousness of the divine in action, we impact this world and we make a difference. You're not small and insignificant. You're not irrelevant. You're powerful beyond measure. It's you that is that. And you make a difference in the world. You make a difference in my life. You make a difference to this community. And you make a difference to our family that we call humanity. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Travis, would you give a towel, maybe just something that will not make that soak through as much through here.
Drag you down.
So today I'm taking the lead from Red Bev, and I'm starting with meditation. I typically like to end with meditation after my talk, but I'm finding it's shifting me. And like I said, I'm doing this because these things affect me. What I talk about, what I do in the music, the things that I bring up are relevant to me. They make a difference to me. And I hope that they make a difference to you, and y'all can share with me that yay or nay, if that's the case, all right? But I wanted to do meditation here to begin with. So if you're willing, just if you'd like to close your eyes or soften your gaze, just allow your awareness of this space and you in this space. You're sitting in a chair, you can feel the pressure. You may can hear the movement in the room. Maybe a little of the rain outside. Because in this space, there's only one power and one presence. We call that name God, and Allah, love, light, universe, presence, power. But today you're going to use your breath. And as you inhale, we know that the body is converting that air into O2, to oxygen. And is being used by the body. Life comes forth from that. Repair, healing, health arises from that oxygen as the body utilizes it. Well, we're going to take that air today as you inhale, and it's flowing in as the light that it is, the love that it is. And there's this wonderful, glorious oven within you. It's your heart center. And you're bringing that love and that light into that oven. And just like oxygen, it fans those flames. It flares up. It roars brighter and louder. And being that love and light is already your nature, you're bringing into your consciousness the depth and width of your love and your light. As that fire rages, it consumes all that is not like it, removing the impurities and revealing and leaving only what is its nature: love and light, power and presence. And because we are this love and light, let's see it moving out, expanding out of our physical bodies into the space, touching each of us in this room with that love and light, calling to us, reminding us that we are this beauty, this magnificence that is our divine self. And each breath, as those flames continue to rise and move outward, we move out of this space, out of this building, across these streets, flowing out over our state, our nation, our continent. This divine nature cannot be limited. And that love and light flow encircling this planet. And where there has been conflict, strife, heartache, that love and light are calling. Arising what needs to take place. The love, the compassion, the kindness, the generosity, the peace, the comfort, the security. Where there is a need, there is an answer. allow yourself for the next few moments to sit and be that love and light. As you're ready, bring your awareness back to being in this room, seated in a chair. And as you open your eyes, remembering that with each breath, you're adding fuel to that love and light. And so it is. read an article the other day, and one of the questions that said, if you could tell all the people of the world one thing, what would you like them to know? And as I listened to that, it would be to know that you're a blessing. Even in the midst of all the crap that goes on in life, and whatever you're experiencing, you're still a blessing, that you matter here. One of the things that touches me in my life is when I read about suicides. And some of me just wants to be able to convey what a blessing and how much the world is better off that you're here. Each and every one of us. But most certainly anyone that's contemplating that maybe the world would be better off without them. Maybe their life would be better off if they weren't here. No matter what the storm is, the blessing that you bring and the experience of being able to live those years and get to a place and bring forth the healing. Ken,
Yeah.
you're snoring over the top of me, Ken. I was getting jealous. I was thinking maybe it was nap time for me too. So, today I want to talk about holding on. Last week I talked about holy moments. Holy moments are recognize that God and you are one now. Recognizing that in each moment that you possibly can. And whether you go a million moments that you don't, you come back and there's that moment. And that you take those moments into the world and you make a difference in the world. That your generosity, your compassion, that you go out into the world and that you share that moment with others. You bring your awareness and you find a place. One of my teachers used to say, you see a need and you fill it. Okay? Where's the need in the world? Well, if you're seeing it, guess who's there to address that? You are, because you're the one seeing it. So go fill that need. But holding on, because, boy, I've had a couple weeks filled with people that struggling with health issues, struggling with challenges, struggling with life, feeling that heartache, that pain, that uncertainty that goes with that. And part of me knows that as a practitioner, as a minister, part of what they need to do is let go of that crap, right? Let go of the things in life that we hang on to. That, just like this morning, we were doing our Sunday Spirit group, and for those of you who don't know, we're in there reviewing the Unity booklet, Healing 1,000 Different Ways. And we're talking about healing, and we're talking about memories of things that happened decades ago that are arising in the last weeks or months for us. And being able to recognize that we've been healing, we've been making changes with that all our lives, ever since the experience with that. But we're still finding moments that we can release that, we can transform, transmute that. So that it's no longer a driving force in our consciousness trying to get us to act and be a certain way. Because usually those voices are telling us what? What do yours tell you?
I'm wrong.
You're wrong, you ain't no good. Why would you think the world would ever want to hear what you got to say? Right? You are not a good little boy, you're not a good little girl, whatever it is that goes on in there for those. And if you like me, you got a whole long list, right? Okay, it ain't just one thing, it's a list of them. The things that we want to let go of, we want to release, but there's also things we want to hold on to. And today I want to talk about holding on so tight and not letting it go, because we've got that part of our lives and our expression as well. This is infused with healing, because healing is the foundation of Unity, as well as all that prayer that began in the early days with Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the Unity founders, was to help bring about healing in so many cases. So the foundation is healing. Who of y'all know the Myrtle Fillmore story about her healing? Y'all all heard it. Okay? You remember enough to tell it? Oh, put them on the spot. Now they don't know.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me go ahead. Myrtle, as the story goes, Myrtle has not really been a healthy person all her life. In her family, she's been perceived as weak and frail, and they basically just doted on her until she met Charles, and they were married, and then they started their spiritual quest together. Far more Myrtle than Charles to begin with. And Myrtle went to hear a lecture by a man of the day called E.B. Weeks. And E.B. Weeks was one of the, in this era of time, was one of the many people just talking on metaphysical and new thought type teachings. And she went and she came away with one thing from that lecture. You know what that is?
No.
You're a child of God, you cannot be sick.
Yeah, you are a child of God, and therefore you do not inherit sickness or disease. Okay? And she latched onto that. She got a hold of it. She didn't let it go. Okay? And she went and starting her healing process around that. How long did it take her?
A few years.
It took her years, actually. So it wasn't for her this, oh, I got it, and the next day I'm all perfect. But she started healing that. And as she healed, Charles got more invested because he went, I see what Myrtle's doing here. And he started his own exploration because Charles, when he was 10 years old, he injured a hip skating. And as the story goes, he spent almost 2 years bedridden at 10 years old. And for most of his life, most of his early life, I should say, this leg was weak, withered, and he had to wear a brace to be able to walk with that leg. But he started his healing journey. And eventually that leg got stronger, and he stopped using that brace. And as he got later in life, there was only the slightest bit of a hint of a limp. So Myrtle and Charles healed very physical ailments for themselves. But as we talked this morning in our group, we know that there's something important about what happens with healing. Because there's what E.B. told Myrtle. This is what Charles gives us a definition about healing. It says the first step in all spiritual healing is to believe. And the next step is openness and receptivity to the stream of healing life. So what's the first step? Belief. Okay. Believe what?
That you can be healed.
That you can be healed. Okay. I also, for those of you that read Charles, I know some of you don't read Charles because Charles isn't the easiest read on the planet. Charles is, depending on where he's at, sometimes he's got 2 or 3 meanings about when he uses a word. So if this statement is said, the first step of all spiritual healing is to believe, well, believe that you can be healed. What else might he be saying? What else are you to believe?
That we're a child of God. That we're spirit.
That we're child of God. And he actually goes on to refine that a little more. Because the next step is the openness and receptivity to the stream of healing life. So open to our child nature, our divine children of God. And through the exercise of faith and our words, our spiritual quality is fused into unity with the power of Christ. So we're using our faith, our awareness of who we are, and our words to fuse us together with our Christ. And where's the Christ dwell? Okay. So we don't have to go find it, right? It ain't lost out there. I'm just making sure. That Christ nature, meaning our divine nature. If we're children of God and made in the image and likeness of God, then the divine nature is here. So we're fusing our thoughts, our words with that power of the Christ within us. And then he says, and then the work is marvelously accomplished. I love his word, marvelously accomplished. I note here he didn't say it's accomplished, in 30 seconds. Right? He didn't actually give us a time frame. But he goes on to say that all healing is based on mental cleansing. And when the mind is free from error thoughts, harmony in the body ensues. So error thoughts. What's the term in Christianity that gets used for error thoughts? Sin. Okay. Sin for us here isn't about a moral issue. Sin is about how we think. That we're not thinking in line with that divine nature. That's the error of the thought, is that we're thinking that we're somehow flawed, broken, not right, wrong. We're not a good little boy, not a good little girl. Whatever those thoughts are that arise within us that are anything but the truth of our divine nature. And it said all healing comes from within, not without. So if all healing comes within, not without, why do we go to doctors?
That's what we've been taught.
You've been taught, okay. Do doctors help you?
Sometimes.
From fun? Okay. What about therapists? Some of us go to therapists. They help us? No? Maybe not for some of us. But other types of practitioner, body workers, healers that we sometimes go to, do they sometimes help us? Right. So my little head goes through, well, those folks are out here, but they have helped Russ in his life. So if all healing comes within and not without, how the heck did they help me? What do y'all think? How did they help me?
They went to school.
They went to school, so they're just smarter than me. Is that what you're trying to tell me? They help me believe.
In many ways, yeah, help you believe and help to remove anything that's blocking that healing.
That's blocking that even. I've got it.
Thoughts.
I love I got two images here. I know y'all have heard now I can't remember what artist it was. His sculptor was talking about, they were asking how he visualized and brought out the work that was in the stone. And he said, I just cut away what's not the beauty. I just chip away at it to reveal that. That is a stone sculpture. Some artists using tools chipped away to create that, to reveal that magnificence, that beauty. So for me, when I think about these people that are supporting me and helping me in my life, they're supporting and helping me believe, remember the truth of who I am, maybe chip away and remove those beliefs that I hold, that I'm not a good little boy, I don't deserve it, I'm not right, I'm not smart enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not. Okay? That they help me chip away at those things. Because if I fully knew, and I mean knew, that I am divine and that perfection that we talk about is right here, would I need someone outside of me? Yeah. That might be my answer too. I might not. But until I own 100% and live from that and as that perfection, I have a certain consciousness level, and others help me in that certain consciousness. You know, there's an old story too about Charles talking about people telling him they don't need glasses, or they need glasses, and him telling them, great, then wear glasses. You know? Because if you can't see, you can't see. Wear glasses to help with that. But address and work with what you need to heal that. So those people outside of us that we go and use as practitioners, sometimes are just helping us while we want to come back and work on. Also, that's where how Russ's head works. When I think about healing, I think about people doing prayer work and meditation, and I think about people that are doing that all the time and having health issues and not healing. So why does that happen? Some for the reasons we've just mentioned. Why does that happen? Why do people that are truly prayerful, meditative folk, why might they have something they don't heal from? Or not healing well, not healing as fast as they'd like to heal from?
Stuff they can't let go of.
Stuff they can't let go of. We have stuff we can't let go of. Okay? Why can't we let go of it? Pam, I'm gonna pick on you.
Because it's comfortable. It's something that you know, and that you expect, and you get, and until you're shown another way, it's hard to believe sometimes.
Oh, wonderful answer, Pam. Thank you. Thank you. We never know where people are at in their consciousness and what they're holding on to, what it is in their life, and how much those things are affecting their ability to own, truly own what we're talking about when we talk about you're the perfection, you're the divine, right there, you're it. I see you for that. And know that. How much can you know that? Well, you might not. You might be struggling with that. Does that make you a bad person? Something terribly wrong, flawed about you? No. It means you, in the human experience, you're just continuing to evolve that, make changes with that. I love that we all have this incredibly diverse life. And your experiences in your life, you'll have so many that I didn't have. And you'll have so many that I did. Just like this morning, I heard some of y'all talking about things that was like, I know that. I had a childhood like that. I had that experience. We have this commonality. But part of our letting go is to let go of that which needs to be chipped away to reveal that beauty. And this morning we talked about what? How do you help let that go? What was the core of our reading this morning?
Yeah, well, the spirit group? Or?
Yeah, the spirit group. The spirit group, I'm sorry, I wasn't clear.
Yeah.
It was about healing.
About healing, and how were we talking about it this morning? What did you need to do to heal? What were the things that you might wanted to be aware of?
Bring it out and look at it and let it go.
Bring it out, look at it, let it go, and when you bring it out, what were you to do with it? What might be a thing you do with it?
Knowledge.
You might feel it. Feel what's arising for you. Using those feelings as a way of being aware of what you're hanging on to. Because I told them a story about something was arising for me, and it really arose as a thought. I had a memory of something. But as I sat with it, I could feel it, the emotions arose with it. And as I could feel it, then it became clear to me that it was something I wanted to shift, I wanted to heal. Okay? But by allowing myself to be in the feelings of it, I allow it to rise up and I can get more clarity about it. I know sometimes the fear is this emotion seems big, seems frightening, and then it may overwhelm me and consume me. But you're bigger than that fear. You're more powerful than that fear. And I think too, that's why sometimes you seek out those practitioners, because they are more schooled than us at times and things. And all they're doing is reminding us that you're okay with this. You're okay. We can do this. As well as taking us maybe just a little deeper. And sometimes that's, to me, what the beauty of a spiritual community is that we can be with people that can recognize and know that it's okay to feel those things. It's okay to have those feelings. It's okay. It's okay to be that way. And now I can support you and hold you. And what do you want to do with it? Because sometimes it's all comfortable in it, Pam, and I'm not sure I want to do anything with it today. Okay? But maybe you do. And maybe this is a place where you can do it with the people that you're surrounded with. I was with a woman one time and she was telling me that she was having conflict in her church and just how terrible the conflict was, and that she didn't want to go to a church that was having conflict because church was not meant for conflict. It was supposed to be, and Russ is saying it was supposed to be butterflies and unicorns and rainbows, and it was just all warm fuzzy. For me, yes and no. Because people come because they're wanting to explore something, often in spiritual communities. They're wanting to just discover more of the depth of who they are. But some people come because life sucks and they're hurting and they want a pathway out of this. And that means they're looking for healing. And healing means that when I step into community, those things to be healed arise. And that could be the conflict. So I look at conflict as not as a bad thing. It's what do you do with it? What do you do with the upset that's taking place? Travis told us a good story this morning about everybody out there making him be something, be a certain way. And, it took him a while to get to the revelation that, well, nobody outside me makes me be anything. That's my response to what's taking place. It's what do we do with it? How do we heal that? So, coming back around here, we want to hold on. We want to hold on and not let go to what? What is it that we want to hold on to?
Truth.
The truth. And what's that mean? Belief? Is that what you said, Pam? And what's that mean to you? What does truth mean to you? Stop. It's not a trick answer. Okay. Not trying to get you to give me a wrong answer so I can jump up and down on it. What does truth mean to you?
I would say what Paul Hasselbeck. I am the presence of pure being, emanating the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom.
And I love that. And somebody else in this room is going, what? I like that. How would you say that?
I'm okay, you're okay.
I'm okay, you're okay? How else would you say that truth?
When I think the truth, I think of seeing what it really is and being able to release it.
Okay. Right, so chipping away the stone
Yeah.
and seeing what's really there, the beauty, the magnificence that's really there. Okay. Someone else.
Acceptance with peace.
Acceptance with peace. Okay. I love when y'all won't go there.
We are love.
What?
We are love.
We are love. Okay. Yes. We're love. And we're lovable. And that's our nature. It can't be separated from us. We can't take God out of us. Now, we might try and deny that God, and that's through our consciousness, through our thinking. But we can't take that. We can't take that love and all those qualities that we talk about in unity. What are the 12 powers? Boy, strength and knowledge, zeal. What else we got? Faith and will. Any of those. Name any you can think of. They have nothing to do with the 12 powers. Those are you. That's the truth. And we want to hold on to that so that we can continue in that experience just like those holy moments, we can keep it arising for us. Keep it coming forward. So part of the healing process is, yes, I'm chipping away to reveal what's there, but the holding on is holding on to what is there, what the truth is there, what the beauty is there. What am I within this being? Because if I've been taught all my life, I'm no good, I'm unworthy, I don't deserve this, then it's hard for me to see that beauty, to experience that beauty that I am. And if I'm having trouble seeing it here, am I having trouble seeing it there too? Right? There's a story. It's a man, he's got into a taxi and he's headed to the airport, and all of a sudden a car pulls out in front of the taxi. The taxi driver has to swerve around him, barely misses him, and the driver of the car that pulls out pulls up alongside the taxi driver, of course, is screaming and gesturing and carrying on. And the taxi driver just goes, big old smile, waves at him. And the man in the taxi goes, what the heck was that? This guy almost ran us off the road, screaming and yelling at us. And you were acting like he was your best friend. What was that about? And he said, well, I think people are like garbage trucks. You're like, what? He said, we take on all this stuff, all this garbage. It's our anger, our frustration, the strife and struggles we have in life. And at some point, that garbage truck gets full and we gotta dump it out. And we like to dump it on other people just because we gotta dump it. And I just view that I don't want to carry your garbage with me. So I just want to acknowledge that, hey, I see you. And I'm okay with you. And I recognize you. And I move on without taking your garbage with me. And I think part of our holding on, and we begin to recognize truly who we are, that we can step into the world and hopefully not be garbage trucks ourselves, but also be able to recognize other people for who they are and not think that they're doing something to us, right? That we recognize it's their life, their experience. And also ultimately to come to the place of how do we help them? How do we support them? If they want to be helped and supported. Pam brought up for us, sometimes we just don't. We aren't at that place for us to be able to be receptive yet. But that doesn't mean that we're not that love that Roger told us about, that compassion, that we don't embrace them. We do. We wrap them up. And I think part of the holding on is when I get to the core of who I am, and I can hold that, not let it go, that the world I'm holding you in is that same vision. I'm seeing you in that same beauty. No matter what you're bringing to me, no matter what your pain, what your strife is. In Science of Mind, as I understand it, that's called a treatment. They look at, I have to be able to hold this awareness of my own perfection, my own truth. And once I can do that for me, I can do that for you. And once I can do that for you, then you can be you. You can feel what you feel. And you can let that arise in you, that you now have an awareness of what that means to you. Was it in my childhood? I remember my mother calling me a knucklehead, and now for the rest of my life thinking I'm a knucklehead. Right? Well, she told me that because I was being a knucklehead. And it was for the moment. But I've carried it on for decades. But someone that could hold and see me for the truth who I am allows me to be in that emotion, that discomfort, and let that arise. That I should have known that bee I was shooting at was only 2 feet from the car. So shooting at the window was probably a pretty knuckleheaded thing to be doing, right? That now that I own that and recognize I don't have to be that knucklehead in my life. I don't have to carry that forward. I love I've been great memories that I love in my life, and one of them was being with a woman who was healing, that she had for decades of her life known she was sexually abused, and she was in the healing process, and somebody was doing just what I'm talking about. They were seeing her for the truth and the beauty of who she is. And she was in the emotion of it, and she was allowing the feelings to come up, and she got that great clarity of, some of you that do healing work know, of here's the event that took place. And the event was her parents were having a dinner party, and they brought her out to say good night to the crowd. But they brought her out in her nightgown. And her mother had taught her always that nightgown was for private. You didn't go out in your nightgown because that was a bad thing to do. And now she's brought in front of this group of strangers in her nightgown, and she carried that as shame about her body and about sexuality, and somewhere developed that she had been sexually abused around that idea. Well, for her, she was, because the idea perpetuated that for her. But in essence of the experience, she got clarity that, no, it was simply my belief about what I'd been told that this was now wrong. Well, now as an adult, I can look at it and go, well, there wasn't anything wrong about it. So I don't need to carry this wounding that I have around this. It can heal. And that was all provided because someone held them and gave them the space to do that. And they weren't more schooled necessarily, according to Angel, okay? In this case. They just were more aware to allow this to take place. And I'm sharing that because we in a community can do that for others. Because sometimes we think we need to fix other people. Other people don't need us to fix them, okay? They need to do the fixing, if we're going to use that term. They need to do the healing. And all we need to do is be the people that love them and allow them to do that. And that's part of what we do in communities, is support each other. Because I'm trying to also convey to you, there's more to community than just showing up on Sunday mornings, right? There's a depth that takes place in community. Community is being there for each other. It's supporting each other. It's recognizing each other. It's celebrating each other. That's part of what you do in a community. And that happens a little bit on Sunday. That happens mostly the rest of the week, rest of the month, rest of the year. So with that, let me take you through something else that Charles Fillmore says. He says that when you're working with healing, that here, Charles liked affirmations and denials, right? He liked to be able to deny something having power over you, right? Not deny that it exists, but deny that it has power to make me be something. Okay? It just has experience in my life, not power over me, so I deny it power. But I want to affirm that truth, that beauty of who I am. And he says, say to yourself, God is all there is. There's only one life. God is all. There's only one power, meaning there's only one God, one divine nature. This is intelligence and consciousness in the universe. This is the one presence. And this one presence cannot change. There's nothing for it to change into. So that means that there's nothing for you to change into. You're that one presence. And it is changeless, and it is in my life now. It is me now. And that I claim that no race suggestion, no beliefs, no limitations, no ideas of heaven and hell, of theology, of my horoscope, or whatever it else is, has power over to make me change that unchangeable. Thus, if I am that unchangeable and that perfection, then I can heal. And I can heal because the disease or the challenge that I have in my life is based on that mental idea. That's where we go back to starting with that you want to heal, you've got to change the mental consciousness, what's living and alive for you in that mental perception for us. So, knowing that God is all, that there's only one power, intelligence, consciousness in the universe, only one presence, and that this one presence cannot change, for there's nothing for it to change into but itself. But itself. One last thing here. This is Rumi. So this is the poet Rumi. This comes from Hush, Don't Say Anything to God. Passionate Poems of Rumi. He says, do you know what you are? You are a manuscript of a divine letter. You are a mirror reflecting a noble face. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you are already that. So when we let go of all that extra stone and we hold on and don't let go to that truth, to that magnificence that Rumi is describing you all as, that noble face. Answer this for yourself. Then what happens? You don't have to answer that for me. If I hold myself as that truth, I hold on to it, what happens to you? And with that, I'm going to invite us to close with prayer. So if you're willing to close your eyes. We're just coming back to that truth, that perfection, that awareness of the changeless that is within us. And not only is it changeless, but it's infinite. All that is, was, will be, all that potential, those possibilities exist there. And it's for me to reach out and call upon those, to hold on to those, using my mind and my imagination. And as I bring those feelings of love and light into that awareness of that changeless, and it is what I claim, the desire that I have, that I've given words to, I now bring that forth in my life. It manifests. And when it doesn't manifest today, I still repeat it. I still have my holy moments again and again and again. And I keep chipping away at the stone, knowing, the beauty that is remaining, the beauty that I am. And it's from that place, all that I desire arises. And thus all that can be manifest arises. And I claim it, and I embrace it, and I hold on to it, knowing that if not this moment, then the next. Healing a life or a journey. And that if I am this perfection, and I know that, and knowing that I'm not separate from it, then what I hope for and dream for are mine. And then I can birth them in this life and experience them. Is that truly worthy and deserving being that I am? And we say thank you.